Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi the Light Seer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business.
Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to my international folks, wherever in the world you may be today. Listen, before we get started and start spilling the tea and telling on business, I have a couple of important announcements to make. Number one, we have new merch available for you in the Pisces Tarot store. If you want to go ahead and get you some, go ahead and get you some. Number two, I am booking one-on-one readings at this time. They are made available through my website at piscestarot.com. And lastly, if you not hit the subscribe button for the YouTube channel, go ahead and do so at this time. Because, child, when the plot gets thick and the messages start flowing, you want to be the first to know, okay? So, with that being said, I just want to welcome everybody to this spiritual party, and I'm glad that you're here. Listen, hello to all of my guppies, okay? Floating in the light, and a big old love to my global cousins from all over the corner of the map, the world, wherever you may be. Welcome. If you are new to the Pisces pod, go ahead and drop a star in the chat, and if you're a returning friend, go ahead and put that fish and slide on into the soul circle now. Listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all, okay? We got some things to talk about today, all right? So let's go ahead and get into it. For those of you who may be asking the question, like, what are we doing here? Listen, we're going to get started with the overall energy cleanse, do some quick breath work and sound. Then we're going to jump over into the divine insights, in which I had to write it down this morning so I wouldn't forget nothing. Then we had to jump on over to the energy reading, look at the emotional undercurrent, validate everything of what I've told you with the tarot card readings. And then we will pull clarifiers to make sure that we find any nuances that we may be talking about, and close this out with some final thoughts from spirit. All right. Now, before we get into it, okay, let me just give you this quick reminder, everybody. All right. Before I even pull a single card, you need to pause, because Spirit has made it crystal clear that I need to start talking to you guys explicitly about discernment. And I mean exactly that. And if you caught the last live, we went on a whole soapbox about that. But I want you to be clear, okay? Not every teacher that may be teaching you may be educating you, okay? So be very, very careful about where you're getting your information from. Test the spirit, okay? Test the spirit, test the spirit, test the spirit. If it don't fit, acquit, period. If it don't fit, don't try to make it fit, okay? We are seriously living in a heightened time of dark times, and this world is busy, okay? Remember that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And many people are using, the false prophets that people talk about. They're using their spiritual gifts to keep people in spiritual bondage, okay? So just make sure that if you're listening to me or anybody else, if it don't fit, just abandon ship, okay? Be clear about that, all right? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this reading with this overall energy reading. If y'all ready to get into it, I want you to go ahead and put those psychic balls, because, baby, when I tell you, I got something for y'all, okay? So, if y'all ready to get into it, here we go. All right, y'all. So some of y'all been at work all day. Some of y'all just getting up to go to work, wherever it is. All right. I want you guys to get ready for the message. Okay. Now listen, before we get in too deep, okay, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. All right. The first deep breath is going to be to inhale peace and to exhale pressure. Then we're going to inhale clarity and release confusion. And lastly, inhale enlightenment and alignment and release that misalignment. All right. So here we go with the first one. Inhale clarity. I said it backwards. Inhale peace and exhale pressure. All right. Here we go. Inhale clarity. Release confusion. Lastly, alignment and release misalignment. That's it, y'all. Now, if y'all ready to get into this, here we go. Divine Spirit, we welcome you in this place. Let this space be led with clarity, compassion, and clean intention. Let what needs to be said, and let it flow freely, uninterrupted, and unhindered by any of these little demonic people that come in here trying to start stuff. We don't believe it. Amen. And I say, all right? Now, as a reminder, all right, this is a safe and sacred space, okay? It get a little spicy from time to time. So if it come for your edges, knock your wig off, push back your toupee, listen, you are not alone, okay? If you are ready for spirit to start cooking, and I've told y'all I had to write down all that came to me this morning so I wouldn't forget. So, if y'all ready to get into this, I want y'all to go ahead and put those cooking emojis, because baby, all I can tell you is, let's hop to it. Here we go. All right, now, y'all. So, y'all know, whenever I get ready to do a session, I always tap in quietly with spirit. And sometimes it's a dream, a vision, or even a song that I can't stop hearing, right? And so, there is a channel that I subscribe to on YouTube that's called Dream and Conquer. And there is a song on there called I Have It All. And for the last 4 or 5 days, when I wake up every day, I am hearing this song playing in my ear. And I wish that it was something that I could play and share, but I strongly encourage you guys to go and listen to it. It's a little funky beat, but like it's my type of vibe, right? And so as I've been hearing this song talking about how important it is to set your intentions on the good things that you want to have happen. Focus and set your intentions on the blessings that you want to materialize in your life and the things that you want to come to pass. I also heard Spirit speaking and saying the following. It is so important to let go of control and find your inner peace. Mimi, what you mean by that? Here it is. I have been in a space. So some of you that are joining, you're like, Mimi, where you been? It's been a month. Yeah, I know it's been a month of Sundays. I needed a break, okay? Not only did I needed a break from this, but I needed a break to tap in with me, okay? And I read some books. Of course, y'all know I'm always reading something, but I wanted to internalize the message that I was being fed, right? And be able to not only apply it to my personal life, but be able to educate and show you guys how to use it in yours. And one of the notions that I initially struggled with was the thought of I am the love of my life. I am the love of my life. I want you guys to write that down in the chat right now before I even get to it, because I want you to confess that you are the love of your life. What I mean by this, if you look at yourself objectively and see where you are today, A virgin just 5 or 10 years younger than you will be proud of the person that you are today. You are living the dream that you wanted to set out for yourself 5 or 10 years ago. And if you are not in a place that you once aspired to be, then this is your reminder. This is your notification that you need to stop doing what you've been doing and start moving differently. Okay? However, you need to let go of control and find your inner peace. Stop forcing things to work that are not working for you. They're not working for a reason. Stop giving all your love and your power away to other mofos that are not here to reciprocate or to match the energy of which you are given. Damn! Okay? Point number 2, you need to cultivate a vision of hope. Some of you have been so busy letting the world tear you down, including the people in your relationships, that you have lost that sense of hope. Your hope is going in all the wrong places, but where's your hope showing up for you? Where's your faith that's showing up for you? Are you still striving to be the love of your life? Are you still striving to be that person that sets goals and accomplish them? Or have you become so stuck and complacent dealing with the people that you've been dealing with that you no longer dream anymore?
Damn.
Okay. Number 3, seek inner guidance. Okay. This is so important. We've been talking a lot last couple of weeks about knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and discernment. Okay. But you need to be able to seek your own inner guidance and trust your own voice. Okay. Trust your own voice. Why are you walking around here asking everybody else for their opinion when you know it's something that you need to be doing for you?
Denied.
Stop consulting other people about things that your spirit man is telling you blatantly clear that you need to do. If it means it's time for you to break up with somebody without explanation, break up with them without explanation. If that means it's time for you to find you a new job, find you a new job. Whatever it is, stop consulting other people and look within for your own guidance to help you cultivate that vision of hope and find that inner peace that we're talking about. Thirdly, embrace growth through adversity. Okay? Embrace the growth through adversity. They call it growing pains for a reason. It's not growing pleasures, it's called growing pains. Everything is not going to be pleasurable, honky-dory, and satisfactory. It's going to be some ugly stuff that you're going to have to go through. And unfortunately, these ugly things come at your expense. Okay? That's just the reality, right? But what I am here to tell you today is that it's time for you to embrace the growth that comes from it. Again, if you look back over your life 5 to 10 years from now, or prior, you got to be honest with yourself. Would you be proud of who you are today? I know I would be. Because when I look at my life just 5 years ago, I can see and measure the growth. I went through the adversity. It was a growing pain, but I got a growing gain. Okay? And I'm not the same person that I used to be anymore. You can't talk to me any old kind of way. You can't treat me the same old kind of way. All of those little things, right? You got to embrace the growth through adversity. Next, live with trust and not fear. Okay? Live with trust and not fear, which points back to point number 1. Let go of control. Stop worrying about that you can't control. It is what it is. You put it out there. You put it out there. You say what you got to say. Let them. Hey, excuse me, miss. Stella. Here we go. As we talk about control. Stella. Hey. Sorry about that. Now, as we talk about control, It's about realizing that you can only be responsible for what you can be responsible for. You can't control how everybody, you're going to be the villain in somebody's story, okay? That's the reality. You're going to be the villain in somebody's story. What you say and what you do, you have a right to express yourself, your needs, and your wants just as much as they do. How they take it, how they respond, how they react ain't your business. You can't control all of that. But stop walking around on eggshells, being afraid and timid to speak up for yourself, advocate for yourself because you're afraid of what other people are going to say and think. The buck stops here with that. Trust that when you say what you say to who you need to say it to, if it's coming from a genuine place and it is not met, received the way that you wanted it to be received, trust that that is not for you. Because the things that are for you are not going to cause you to compromise. They're not going to cause you to change. It's not going to be too much. And it's not going to be not enough. It's going to be met with the understanding that you're asking for what you have a right to ask for. You're saying what you have a right to say because it's coming from a positive place. Like attracts like. And the only time it's chaos and confusion there is when there's a mismatch in energy somewhere. Okay? So when you live with trust and not fear, don't be afraid to tell one of these mother drokers that something ain't working for you. It just ain't working for you. I don't like that. That ain't going to work for me. They can have a poo-poo face all they want to. But it ain't your business. Either they're going to meet your request and honor your demands, or they're going to kick rocks and find somebody else to run their game on. But they're going to stop wasting your time. And lastly, let go of the past. Stop looking at the back. What's behind you, we ain't there no more. Remember we had this conversation some months ago. You're here now. You're here now. This is who you are now. This is what you're doing now. This is where our focus is. And if you got somebody trying to hold you back and pull you back in spaces and places that you have worked so hard to grow from and grow through and evolve out of and become someone new, then baby, that is your cue that is not the person for you. Now, with that being said, I've been holding on to this all day. All right? Take what resonates and don't be afraid to pause if something hits deep. Out of those 6 nuggets that Spirit gave me this morning, I want you just to write down in the chat which one applies to you right now in your life where you are right now. And remind yourself that I am the love of my life. Start giving that power back to you. Start back taking control over how people treat you. Okay? Because the true love of your life would not alienate, disappoint, mistreat, none of those things. You understand? And that's what we need to start putting out there. So write down in the chat for me, which one of the 6 are you focused on right now? Is it finding inner peace, cultivating that hope or that vision, seeking inner guidance, embracing the growth through adversity, living with trust and not fear, or letting go of the past? All right? Now, with that being said, y'all, it's time for us to jump into what is going on and look at the undercurrents of what's happening here. Hey to all of my guppies. Yes, yes, yes. All right. If y'all ready to get into it, here we go. All right, y'all. So let's feel the energy beneath the surface. And I feel like this tea is going to be hot just based on the nuggets that Spirit gave me this morning, okay? So if y'all ready to get into it, I want y'all to put the tea kettles in the chat. Or the coffee cups, whichever one your preference is. Let's find out what is the overall energy reading for today. We have a lot energetically going on right now. Mercury just went back direct. The portal for Lionsgate is closing. We also have Jupiter that is approaching Venus, and we also have several planets in retrograde. It is almost astonishing how many planets we have in retrograde. However, if you look at this alignment of the planets in the sky, you can see them all lined up. It's kind of cute. All right. So, Spirit, what is the overall energy reading for today? And what does these messages have to do with this reading? Okay. Awaking genius. If this is not pointing back to what I just told you, before I even touched the card, you saw that I read off 6 things that you needed to work on. Okay. Now, how be it that we have a senior person here? And I know a lot of y'all young people, y'all like to shy away from people who are older, but baby, old is wisdom. Okay, old is wisdom. And as I said, we've been talking a lot about the difference between wisdom and discernment. Okay, we've been talking about it. All right. In order for you to learn how to have discernment, you got to have applied wisdom coming from something, which means you have to have some experiences to speak to those things, right? So when you're going through these rough patches in life and these unpleasurable experiences encounter, guess what they do? They equip you with wisdom, okay? So we have now the awakening genius, which means your third eye is on. You're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Can't nobody tell you nothing, especially if you are seeking inner guidance and embracing growth through adversity, living with trust and not fear, and letting go of the past. That's just a synopsis right there by itself. But something's got you exposed. Something's got you ready for battle, okay? Now, what is the truth, Spirit, that they need to know right now for their journey? What is the truth that they need to hear right now for their journey? If you felt that radical shift the last couple of weeks, I want you just to go ahead and put the strong arm emoji in the chat. If you felt that radical shift and you know that you had to break through some things within the last month, go ahead and give me that. Flex your muscle. Flex your muscle in the chat. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay? We're talking about friendship. And what you will note here is that we also have the color purple here present on this card as well. Okay? All of these things are pointing to emotions and fluidity. Okay? They also are pointing to your third eye chakra, which, as you will note, she is irradiating her light and wisdom from. Okay? So somebody is here for a reason. All right? Somebody is here for a reason. They could be coming to teach you a lesson. All right? Now, guides of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us today? And it's mocking me, talking about those planets are kind of cute. They was kind of cute, girl. Now when you look at how jacked up they are lined up, but they was cute. They was cute, girl. All right. Y'all better get y'all paper and y'all pens, make some notes in your phones, because when I tell you Spirit is not coming to play today. The alchemy of poison. This is about transformational lessons. Hello. If you heard me say, this is about how you're growing through things, growing pains, okay? Transformational lessons, reclaiming personal choice, and radical forgiveness. If you heard me talking about any of these things from the download that I got this morning from Spirit, I want you to go ahead and put your ear in the chat. Okay? Just put the little ear in the chat. Because this is the alchemy of poison. All these things that I talked about on this list right here, maybe I need to start writing this stuff down a little bit more often. So then I can point back to it when I tell y'all I done told y'all something, and then we get further down the road and y'all be like, she ain't said, no, I did. Go back and watch the beginning if you don't believe me. The alchemy works 2 ways. We talk about duality all the time. How we always assume the positive or the negative of something, right? Alchemy metastasizes both positively and negatively. So when you allow yourself to be in environments, in situations, in circumstances that are clouding your best judgment, that are corroding your confidence, that are stifling you and burying you down with deceit and that spiritual suffocation, that metastasizes and becomes toxic for you and disrupts and disturbs you from being what you're supposed to be. But not all those things are lost, because even those days are accounted for. They're just delayed. Okay? They're just delayed, but they won't miss you if you make the choice to change. Okay? If you make the choice to change. That's the beauty about being a human being on this journey. We all got free will. So the takeaway is, it's time for you to make better choices and better decisions. Play around if you want to. You're going to get stuck somewhere you ain't got no business being. I'm just telling you what I know. Pay attention.
Bruh.
Now, what messages do you have for us? Hey, boo, hey. See all my boos. Adventure. I will ride the tide. Change me, divine beloved, into one who rides the tide happily, trusting where I am being led, even when everything doesn't make sense yet. Does this not point back to the 6 things I told you this morning? More specifically, about choosing to trust over fear, talking about those growing pains, letting go of the past, and seeking inner guidance. Let go of that control. Looking at your inner peace. Go along with the adventure. Go with it. Go with it. It don't make sense, cool. It ain't got to make sense. It's going to work. That's called faith. All right? Now, how is it showing up in your everyday life? It's time for you to clean house. Tidy up. It's time for you to sweep around your own front porch. It's time for you to take care of your home base before you pour and try to enrich others with other things that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. You are the love of your life. And just because you got somebody else don't mean you have to ignore or negate the fact that you are the love of your life. Okay? Now, as we start to arrive at the individuals that we're talking about, I want you to process all that I've shared with you up until this point. And I want you to write down right now in the chat box, what has so far been your biggest takeaway from the things that I have shared with you thus far? Now, as we look at the personal characteristics and insights of you and the person that we could be potentially talking about, yes, we talk about them as two as well. Get ready, get ready, get ready. All right? Get ready. Our first insight about this situation is health. Health issues could arise, okay? So this is stressing you out. If it's not stressing you out just yet, it is stressing you out. It's about to become a big issue that is going to be presenting its own health challenges your way. We want to make sure that we stay sound mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Now, what is the T? Temperature says it is stressful. Don't let it be. Okay, bad karma. This is an old dead situation. Bad karma, bad juju. Ain't working. All right. What's going on with this specifically, Spirit? Hey, all my babies here. All my guppies. Y'all about to have my funeral if I don't get myself together. All right. Love bombing. Overly attentive. Showered with affection for personal gain. You or your person may be love bombing somebody right now. Okay? Either you or your person may be getting loved bombed. They're overly attentive. They shower you with affection, but they want something. They come with agendas. They have hidden motives. That's usually a trait of a person who is a narcissist and or an avoidant, an extremely avoidant person. If you've been love bombed recently by the person in question that you're thinking about, I want you just to raise your hand in the chat. Ain't no shame around here, baby. We all been a fool in love, and today just may be your turn. Now, what lies beneath this? Red lipstick stains. Okay, there is evidence that this person is not saying and doing what they said they was going to be saying and doing. They weren't where they said they was going to be when they said they was going to be there. You got evidence. Red lipstick stain. Okay. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Envy, hater, spiteful, jealous. Okay. Hey, Belinda. Everybody, welcome Belinda the bouncer. We got envy here. Somebody's a hater. They're spiteful. They're jealous. They have negative intents, tensions. Okay. What is the true emotion here? One of y'all is the love bomber, and the other one is very much so jealous. Got a very envious spirit to them. I got a cold flash. All right, feeling like Skit. Okay, somebody in this connection is feeling like Skit. All right, feeling like Skit. Well, I mean, I guess I would be too if I found out that my boo thing was over here tripping. It would just be a little bit, you know. What is the yin and the yang here? The yin and the yang. What is going on? I'm going to be honest with you. I wish that people would be a little bit more honest about their true feelings and their emotions. Stop saying that you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend if you know that you're really not interested in monogamy. Just don't even call it that. But be truthful about who you are and what it is that you want. Stop asking people to be monogamous to you when you want to be a polygamist on the other side. Either just say you're ethically non-monogamous and keep it moving, but stop defrauding people into thinking that they're getting what they can't get from you. And then when you can't deliver, now you want to start backpedaling. All right, the yin and yang here is nostalgia, memories. Somebody's missing somebody, past life, soulmate, living in the past. Then we talk about leaving the past behind. Here the past is. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, so it is not shocking at all that this came up. Somebody's missing somebody. which is probably why they feeling like skit and dealing with this bad karma. I want you to put a light bulb in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. What is the true crime here, Spirit? Dang. All these cards came flying out. Too many. What is the yin and the yang? Y'all quiet now. Listen. Y'all better start talking because, boy, I will go back into silence, okay? All right, here we go. Tunnel. Ooh, somebody was super focused. Hyper focused. It almost felt like this was a situation where it was no way out, but you came across an opening, that an opportunity to seize, that you were able to do something different. This tunnel card has come out a couple times this week. What is blocking this connection from proceeding to move forward, Spirit? Christian, I'll deal with that in a second, please. I heard you. I will deal with that in a second. Comparison. Comparing is unfair. Leave your past behind and see your new love for who they are. Okay? Again, that reminder again about leaving the past behind. Okay? Last card here. Is it love here or not? Whoop! I've been showing my lack of interest, but you have been ignoring all the signals. So somebody in this connection has been acting like they're oblivious and or unaware of this person's lack of interest. Okay? So this is a cold, dark situation. It's stale. Ain't coming back. All right? Now, who is person A in all of this? I want you to go ahead and drop your zodiac signs in the chat. Go ahead and start dropping your zodiac signs in the chat. Let's get the energy going so I can pull to tell you whose business we really about to get into today. All right? Person A. Person A. As I'm tapping into your energy, person A, you have been dealing with immense anxiety, compulsive attachment, anxious attachment. That's the word, anxious attachment. So you may be dealing with some health issues right now, like anxiety, extreme anxiety, not sleeping, chronically having to check social media, those types of things. Just not letting go, okay, of this situation. Which could be why Spirit said the 6 things that was said earlier today, as well as the card that we got for Alchemy of Poison, and understanding how to ride the adventure and reminding you that you need to tidy up. Okay? Everybody got a reason for why they're in your life, period. Period. Okay? So you may be dealing with extreme anxiety. There may be mental health challenges with depression here, not knowing how to handle this, very thrown off, very confused by what has happened in this relationship. And as I have been informing, and I'm now repeating, Anytime there is some type of confusion there in a relationship, understand that that means that this person does not like you the way that they are trying to elude to themselves liking somebody. Like, it's just, if somebody likes you, there is going to be clarity. Okay? There's ambiguity here because people like to operate in that spirit of gray. This person may have loved bombed you, okay? Were overly attentive, showered you with affection, but they had motives. Okay, they had motives. Now that you have understood that there was other people in the picture, there was evidence of some kind. There was proof. We are seeing red lipstick stains, but I think it was bigger than that. I don't think it was red lipstick. I'm seeing social media posts. Because you have that compulsive attachment, you sitting here looking at the picture and you zooming all the way in like, well, whose hair is that on the ground next to the table at the restaurant? Okay, whatever. That's how you're finding out what you're finding out. You're also struggling with comparison, okay? Comparing who you are to this other person. This situation is over. Stop being attached to the past. Let it go. That ship is sailed. It's over with. Okay? This was unhealthy attachment, thus the alchemy of poison. Okay? This was here to teach you something, to bring you out of something, to push you forward and thwart you into the new level where you're going. You have a personal choice to decide whether or not you proceed to move forward down with this connection or not. And Spirit is telling you today, it's time for you to leave this thing short. Now, since you're curious about the other person, yeah, they dealing with bad karma. Absolutely. They done had their feelings, their eyeballs stuck on somebody else, and now it ain't working the way that they thought it was going to work. Now they feeling like skit. Okay? But the thing is, they've been showing you all the signs, telling you explicitly and implicitly that they were just not interested in you. But somewhere the wires got crossed, and instead of you paying attention to it, you just ignored all of the red signs.
You've got mail.
And while this person may have had that tunnel vision on somebody else and was looking for an opportunity to get a way out, they still might be just a little bit spiteful and jealous of how well you seem to be managing. But you're not managing as well as they think you are. Person A. All right. So, whose business are we about to get into today? Remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So go ahead and put that energy out there, and let's see whose business we talking about today. Because, child, somebody needs to feel the love themselves. All right, here we go. All right, person A. Who is person A? Again, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. And also remember that the energy can be inverted in cross watchers. Just because I don't call your group don't mean you got to exit stage love. You can sit here and listen to the tea, because eventually one day we're going to be talking about you and somebody else going to be listening to your tea. All right. Person A. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, where all of my fire signs at? If you are a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, go ahead and put a fire emoji in the chat. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You are coming in as a 3 of Wands. This is preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise expansion, and overseas opportunity. You going places. You going places, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you or your person is a fire sign, go ahead and drop those fire signs in the chat. Now, the person that we're talking about in this situation, who is person B? Person B is also an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we got fire signs up in here today. They're coming in as the Five of Wands today, okay? This is competition, rivalry, conflict, disagreements, strife, and tension. All the things that we've been talking about. All right? If y'all ready to zoom in, y'all, I want y'all to go ahead. Why would you bring that over to the kitchen? Okay, I told you to leave it there. You're being disruptive right now. I told you to leave it there and I would deal with it. Go clean up your room. Sorry, guys. Lost my train of thought. If you're ready to go ahead and get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Magnifying glasses, magnifying glasses. Listen, we zoom in, we listen, and we don't judge. But we sure about to get messy and come on in. All right? So if y'all ready, drop those magnifying glasses, magnifying glasses, magnifying glasses. All right? Here we go. All right, y'all. Now, this is where the spirit and the message meets the cards, all right? Now, as we get into this, I'm going to confirm everything that I told you before, all right? So you might need to grab you a paper, pen, notebook, open up your notes section in your phone, whatever it is, all right? Take down some notes because we're going to come back to them, all right? So, what is going on with my fire signs? Hey. Y'all, my kids. All right, sorry. This is why I be up in the middle of the night. When it's peaceful, when it's quiet. All right. All right, person A. You're coming in as a Knight of Wands, okay? You have been putting up a lot of effort and a lot of energy fighting for what you believe is yours. You definitely come in as feeling like you thought this was a match made in heaven, if we're being honest. It felt like your prayers have finally been answered. It feels like there was a lot of commonality, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, a lot of connection. But what I want you to understand about this is that you were being love bombed. Okay, you were being love bombed. And if we're being honest about this connection, all right, that faded out real quick early on during this. Everything came in smoking hot. Everything seemed good. Everything was all of that in the bag of chips. And now you feel kind of in a place where it's like you're fighting. You're going through all of the effort, all of this emotion, putting all of everything into everything just to get nothing out of it. And you just like, you know what? I'd rather fight for what I believe in and fall for nothing. But I can't say that you fighting for this is the best value add for what it is that you're doing. I say that because instead of you fighting for this relationship, you need to be fighting for your self-respect, your dignity, your self-esteem. Like, put all that ego mess aside. Okay, put all that aside. What is this person doing for you that is so grand that you can't live without them? Now, I know that we talk about that, and I've said that a few times, but tracking with what Spirit has downloaded upon me, this person is taking you so far off your course of where you need to be and should be at this point in your life that it adds no value. It's costing you more to maintain this than it is for you to be benefiting from it. Like, it adds no value. And I think if you're being honest with yourself, the buck stops here right now. Okay, the buck stops here right now. Now, If you know that you've been fighting tooth and nail for this connection, just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. Just tell the truth or shame the devil. Now, person B. What did we say? They've been showing you all the signs that they have no interest or no desire in being in this connection. And here it is. They've somewhat have checked out. Okay? They checked out. They've been showing you a lack of interest. You've been ignoring all the signals. And here it is. With this Ace of Wands in reverse, they have no desire. So you keep calling, you keep texting, you keep volunteering. If they bored, they'll entertain you. But in reality, this person is not really interested in really moving forward in this connection. Once they got caught in whatever they got caught in, they accepted it. And even though they've accepted it, they're not necessarily happy about it because it didn't happen the way that they wanted it to happen. They wanted to toy with you. And while they had their motives, okay? I'm trying to keep this high level enough to really say what their motive was, and we can find it as we move forward. But basically what I'm telling you now is this conflict has forced them to check out. Whatever explosive conversation you guys had, whatever argument you had that you normally would just get through and continue to move on, baby, that last argument was a turnoff for them. And they really felt like you were saying things that they didn't feel like you were privileged enough to have access to. In other words, you were communicating your needs and your wants to them in a way that they felt like you were not worthy of being able to communicate. I don't think y'all were in a full relationship. I think this was something that was just casual. And I think it was just exciting at the time. But I don't get the impression that this was something that was a real intense, locked in relationship. And if you be honest with yourself and think back, you came into an assumed relationship. Did you misconstrue frequency and consistency for desirability? Anybody can hang out with anybody when they bored. But who can hang out with somebody when they got other things to do?
Damn you!
So tell me, which person do you align with most? Are you aligning with person A or person B? Are you the one who was willing to fight for this, or are you the person who lost interest and because of what you found out? Who do you align with most in this narrative? Now, when we look at what is favorable about this situation, what needed to come out in order for us to be able to move forward, what is working in your favor? The Page of Cups in reverse. The most favorable thing about what happened was that last argument that y'all had, when they felt like you were not entitled to checking them, going off on them, proving a point, saying what you wanted to say to them, and doing whatever, all of that rah-rah, when they left you empty-handed, when they didn't say what they were supposed to say, they didn't give you the response, they didn't give it to you because they don't want that with you. They wanted you for the reasons that they wanted you for, but it wasn't for the things that you think that they wanted you for. Does that make sense? They had a motive for getting with you. Whether it was a physical exchange, whether it was a monetary gain, whether it was a temporary arrangement, they were basically using you is what I'm saying. They loved bombed you. They confused you. They got what they wanted from you, and then they quietly started to back on out. And while they used you to advance, the reality is the pieces of the pie that you can't see is that they're not doing so well. Okay? You thought you got over on somebody. No, boo, the game just began. Whenever you do things to be malicious and deceitful and just very spiteful, you don't win. How you gonna win when you're not right within? So the best thing that could have happened is when you guys had this argument, this explosive conversation, when they met you with silence and gave you no answer, did not address your concerns, did not respond or validate your perspective or any of that, that was a note to self. That this mother trucker is not real. This person ain't offering you anything of substance. They don't want to rectify. They don't want nothing.
I'm telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
And this was the best thing that could have happened. While it sucked, while it was unfair and an unnecessary evil, the reality is that was Spirit's way of showing you this ain't where you want to be. What is consequential is that this all happened, as I said it did in the beginning of this reading, to complete this cycle for you, to close out these repeated patterns of not loving yourself enough to recognize when somebody is playing in your face. It's easy to become comfortable with mediocrity because it doesn't require you to do anything any differently. It's easy to become complacent with average. You don't have to do anything stellar. You're average. You're meeting expectations. It's satisfactory. It's easy to get in a cycle of settling and being with someone that doesn't require a challenge, that doesn't require you to grow and to go. It's easy because it's low maintenance. It can be on autopilot. It doesn't give you anything. But what Spirit is telling you today is, look at the alchemy of how poison works. You are hindering your own progression. You're stifling your own growth because of the poor choices and bad decisions that you make. You allowed these people to be in your life, to be in this space, taking up space in places that they don't belong in. And then when they move around and try to free themselves from you, that compulsive, anxious, depressing energy kicks in. And you over here going through withdrawals like you doing some type of substance that will take you to have withdrawals.
I need it.
And what Spirit is telling you is, you are never going to evolve like this. You're never going to find the love that you're looking for like this. Let me scratch that. It's not even about you finding the love that you're looking for. It's about you evolving into receiving the love that you're worthy of receiving. That's what this is about. You needed to go through this cycle and finish this up once and for all so that you could be successful. Spirit is telling you today, you need to let go of the past, trust that this happened for a reason. Find peace with what has happened. Let go of the need to try to control the outcome. It ain't about you. Seek that inner guidance. If your spirit man is not telling you to call that person, why you keep picking up the phone? Let it go. Are they calling you? Are they texting you? Are they popping up on your social media checking for you? You keep looking at the phone confused, trying to figure out why your phone's so dry. It's dry because they've told you in every which way they don't give a about you.
What the this cannot be.
It's time for you to embrace the growth through the adversity and let go of the past. That's what Spirit is telling you right here, right now. Now, what is this trying to teach you? We got the Lovers. Spirit is telling you, you got to make a decision. Okay? This is major arcana. Both these cards are changing how you show up in the world, not only for others, but for yourself. This is happening to shift the way you think, to shift the way you're moving. This is a soul lesson. Okay? It is here to show you duality exists. Either you could alchemize positive things, or you could alchemize the negative things. Either you want to be in something that is toxic and deadly and harmful and dangerous and irresponsible, or you can nurture something that is going to be loving, fulfilling, challenging, but rewarding, responsible, fairly cautious, right? Spirit is telling you today, you need to look at how you are evaluating and measuring your relationships and understand that duality exists. There's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some obstacles in these relationships. Absolutely. But they should not be like this.
Yeah.
If you're compromising all of your values, then what value do they bring to the table? If you're compromising all of your beliefs, then what conviction do they offer you to stand on? If you are disregarding all of your morals, then what's sacred about the relationship? Spirit is telling you to draw attention to what you find acceptable to have in your relationships. What is it that you need to do to heal? Now, this is always something because I want you to put a name to this feeling. Oh, boy. We got 3 cards that came out. The Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the 9 of Cups in reverse. Spirit is telling you, stop waiting for somebody to come and offer you something that you don't need them to offer you in order to make you happy. You are the love of your life. You are the person of your dreams. It's up to you to find satisfaction with yourself, so that when they come, they're not making you anything. They're adding to what you already have going on. So when you're walking around here looking for that fulfillment from other people and asking for them to fill a void that is not their responsibility, Spirit is saying this is why you keep ending up in the wrong space at the wrong time, feeling unhappy and feeling in a fog. Because you're allowing too much power to be given to other people in hopes of making you feel better about you. So, what do you need to do to heal? Stop waiting for them to give it to you. With this Ace of Cups, stop waiting for these folks, i.e., this person, to offer you something that they're incapable of offering you. Whatever it is and whatever it was that you decided to ask them, it's beyond the pale. They have no interest and no desire to give you what it is that you're asking for. I don't care if it's something as simple as bringing you chicken nuggets from McDonald's every Friday. They have no interest in doing that for you. How many times do they have to keep telling you they're on the way just for them not to show up?
You ain't lying.
How many times do they have to keep on telling you that they're going to be there for you only for you to find out that they are playing in your face? How many times? If you got that love for yourself and that adoration for yourself, and you spend as much energy in nurturing you, nurturing and developing your self-esteem, validating your self-worth, standing 10 toes down on business and don't play about you in the way, in the format that you're looking for somebody else to stand there and represent for you, you won't need this. You see this as noise. You see this as a distraction. You see this as a space filler. But you not seeing that. Because everything gets you all warm and fuzzy. The little slightest bit of attention make you think the sun, the moon, and the stars above. And all this person did was tell you that you look nice today. Stop looking for that validation from other people. Which is why Spirit said those 6 things that he said earlier today. Which is why it's been confirmed. It's time for you to wake up. It is time for you to wake up, boo. You're giving too much of your power away to stale people. That's why you're not happy. And I get, nobody wants to be alone. So everybody wants something to do with their time outside of work. Everybody want to feel special. I get it. But what happens when the special ain't special? It's just average. It just meets expectations. It's insignificant. It's immaterial. It's monotonous. It's dull. Then what? How does that make you feel? So what is it that you're growing through right now? So wait, I tell you what's funny. This deck comes with 2 decks of lovers, right? So one is a male to male to honor our LGBTQ plus positive community. And then we have a male and a female lovers. Now, what's interesting about this, because I've been meaning to pull this card out of here for quite some time. But guess what, y'all? It came up again. Spirit is doubling down. Doubling down on the narrative that you need to start evaluating what you find your partnerships to be worth. What do you call ideal? Okay? Because whatever it is that you're looking for, it's manipulative. It's harmful. It's damaging. It's not fruitful. Whatever it is that you are associating and making of value, let me break it to you down real quick, real plain. Women, I know men do this too, especially if you're in the LGBTQ plus But that, whatever. Just go with me for illustrative purposes. Okay. You always want a man that makes 6 figures. He got his own this. He got his own that. He drive this type of car. Okay, all those things are cool. Got the credit score. Got the credit cards available, whatever your values are. All of those things are good. But what happens when you start talking to this man and he talks to you like a piece of crap? What happens when they don't know how to treat you? What happens when they berate, belittle, and be condescending to you, disrespect you? What happens then? Stand by. What happens then? What happens when you want this person to invest in you and they're so self-absorbed that all they can do is ignore you, right? Everybody wants the perfect person with the career and the money and the likes and the cars. All of that is good. All of that is great. Hold on. Here comes UPS now, y'all. Hold on. I'll be right back. Sorry, y'all. I promise y'all. I think I'm going to have to go back to streaming in the mornings. Stella. Sorry, guys. Sit. Sit. Down. Down. Now, the point that I'm making with that is all those things look good on paper, but the reality is if you're dating someone who doesn't have the intangibles, who doesn't know how to treat you, who doesn't invest in you, they're so busy, they're so stressed out from their everyday life that they demean or devalue or negate your struggle and your own personal strife, because we all got our own things, then what value does this person bring into your life? What value do they add? And that's what Spirit is trying to get you to see. You're landing in places that you don't belong because you're looking at everything from a screwed perception. Okay? You're looking at things the wrong way. And what Spirit is trying to tell you is you want love and you deserve love. But do you really want somebody that's going to be talking to you crazy? Do you really want somebody who's not going to make time and plans for you? Are you really wanting to be with somebody who's so hyper-focused and fixated and self-serving and only comes around because they want what they want, they need what they need, they're going to get what they get? And anytime you're not in service to them, anytime you're not stroking their ego, they got a problem with you. They mad now. Hey, sit. Down. Get down. Down. Stay. And that's where some of the frustration is coming from, you guys. They like you when it's convenient for them. They like what you can do for them. But once that need and has been satisfied, there's nothing else coming from this. This person is very empty. And if we're being honest, this has nothing to do with you. This is who they are. This is who they are at their core. Which is why this is also manipulative, right? Because you're forcing something to work that ain't supposed to be working. Spirit wanted you to meet this person for a reason. To show you, to get you to evolve and to grow and to become. To get you to understand that you are worthy and deserving of so much more than what they were willing to give you. And the question therein becomes, why do you choose to settle for mediocrity? Why do you choose to settle for less than what you're worth? You doing all the pouring. You doing all the giving. But what are you receiving?
I am disgusted.
At the bottom of the deck, we got the 9 of Cups. You're not happy. The small things can make you happy. But you're not happy. All you want to do is spend time with them. But they have no time to give. All you want is a hug. And they so busy hustling, doing whatever they doing, you got to book an appointment to get a hug. Like, what about these things tell you that they don't like you?
I don't like you. I don't like you at all.
Instead of them creating space for you to belong in, they want to make an excuse for why they don't have to accommodate you and be considerate of you and your feelings. And the question is, why has this become acceptable, common practice for you? Why is it that we allow people to feel overly comfortable and confident with being disrespectful, marginalizing you, taking away your voice, taking away your right to express the things that you need to express, say what you need to say, and expect to have your needs met? But every time you open up your mouth to articulate that to this person, they reiterate to you just how much they want to show you that they think so little of you. And what I'm telling you is, while I know that this was unpleasurable to go through this, I want you to realize that this was a blessing in disguise.
God did.
Because that blinder has been removed. That veil has been lifted. And now is the time for you to understand that if I don't love me first, and if I don't require certain things and not compromise on what my demands are, I'm not going to negotiate my peace. I'm not going to negotiate my integrity. I'm not going to compromise my self-esteem. I'm not going to compromise my beliefs. Like, it's just so many things that can go here. But if you're being honest, you compromised a lot. And the question is why? What you do all that for? Just to still come up in empty-handed? Now, you probably saying, I don't even know why. Well, let's look at it. Let's clarify and find out, well, how did we even get here? Shall we? Here we go. All right. Now, before we wrap up the story, let's go a little bit deeper and start to understand what were some of the reasons, what were some of the constraints and the nuances of this situation, okay? I'm about to pull clarifying cards to texturize the first 8 cards that I pulled. All right? So let's pay attention to these additional layers, hidden motives, and additional truths. All right? Let's pay attention to it. All right? Now here we go. Why did this person pull back, Spirit? Why did person B pull back? They were conflicted to begin with. They liked you enough to get what they wanted to get, but you were a space holder for them. Their focus was somewhere else. And you were just a distraction. You were just a middle way point for them. And trust me, they done sowed these seeds, so they ain't going to be without punishment. We got the 9 of Wands. You thought that if you could continue to light the way, you could lead the horse to water, but what you didn't take account for was that you couldn't make the person drink. They had no desire from the very beginning to go the full distance with you. They knew what they wanted from you, and that was all they wanted. How do I say this? You never got a fair chance to begin with. You saw this person, what they offered, and thought the sun, the moon, and the stars above, and they only thought the dirt with you.
How you doing?
They didn't see you as being somebody worth anything. Like, they made that decision early on. They did what they needed to do just to get you going. But that's what also left you confused. That's what also left you feeling hurt. And if you're waiting for the apology to come, baby, I'm telling you right now, they'll never apologize to you.
I want to apologize.
Here we go with the 10 of Swords. Okay? This reiterates the fact that this cycle, this you waiting for that apology, you waiting for that clarification, you waiting for them to come forward and to give you something, they are never going to give it to you. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. No, I'm not sorry to say. I'm not sorry to say. I'm glad to say that they will never come forward to say what they need to say to you, so that you can stop holding your breath, waiting on somebody to give you what they have no intentions on giving you. If they thought enough of you in the very beginning, then they should have been open and transparent and communicative all the while. They didn't do it because that wasn't who they are. They didn't respect you enough to tell you the truth. And this is that reminder that when you allow these types of people to be in your space, when you ignore these red flags, this is your reminder that you are the one that is causing yourself this despair. It ain't nobody else. Spirit is telling you, when it don't feel right, stop forcing it. Consult with your inner self. If the energy is off, it's off for a reason. Cool. They don't want to call you when they say they're going to call you. They don't want to play dates when they say they're going to play dates. They don't want to see. That's cool.
I guess we'll never know.
Y'all just drive me nuts. I can't do it in the evening. Sit down. Sit. I'm not giving you a treat. Can you sit down? Why is she over here looking at me like she know? Okay, Mom. So this is what Spirit is telling you. There's a lesson in all of this for you to learn, but you had to come to this point in order to get to that point of transforming and changing and growing into who and where you need to be. You had to go through these growing pains. Now, I talked about this earlier, and here it is again with this Three of Cups. Okay? Part of the reason why you're still holding on is because you had this conviction that this was going to end in a different way than what you thought. You thought that you was going to have this gravitational pull, and that this person was just going to spin a block and come back around and give you something that, you know, you always hope for and wish for and all of the things, right? But the reality is that this person was never going to give you these things. Like I said this once, I'm going to say it again. You wanted to win because of what this person you thought they can offer you. But once the thick got thick and going, you realize there wasn't nothing going on here at all. That's what made it manipulative. You wanted to prove something to your friends. No, prove something to yourself. You should be having a celebratory party that you left them alone. Like, stop asking somebody to be in your life that don't want to be there. And we have the moon here in reverse, which tells me it was a lot going on about this person that you didn't know anything about. Whether it be the third party person, whether it's their lack of commitment or thereof, their lifestyle that they have, the way that they move, it's not conducive to who you are and what you believe in. But yet, Spirit says, why do you keep on compromising? Settling for mediocrity. Hoping for the best. But you got to watch your back everywhere you go and everything you do. Because this mother trucker got a motive for everything. Trust me. You ask them for 75 cents to buy a stamp. You got to get them $1.50 back in return. They ain't doing nothing for free. Nothing out the kindness of their heart because they don't like you like that. And I hate to say it this way, but you're compulsive and looking at everything that they do. Unfollow, block, and delete that mofo. Do you hear me? What is it that you waiting for them to tell you? What is it that you waiting for them to do? You still holding on? Why? You think something gonna change? It ain't changing all this time. When it's gonna change?
I'm just not ready for all of this. It's just...
It ain't gonna change. Whether you pull the plug today or tomorrow, it ain't gonna change. And if you pull the plug today, guess what? They ain't even gonna notice that you pulled the plug because they ain't paying attention because they ain't checking for you like that.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
So what is this teaching you about this person? Is this confirming your worst fears when it comes to this person? Or is this teaching you about how much you've been willing to settle and compromise? I want you to think about that and write that down in the chat. And let's figure out how you're going to move and navigate from this moving forward. Here we go. All right, y'all. Before we get into these closing thoughts, I'm just going to take a quick minute to remind you that I got merch available if you're willing to purchase some of it. The link is in the bios and in the below description box. You will see it all there. Okay. Ow. Secondly, if you're looking for one-on-ones, I am booking at PiscesTarot.com. PiscesTarot.com. Go ahead and get your appointment today. Remember, spots do fill fast and spaces are limited. All right. And if you have not followed me on YouTube, go ahead and do so at this time. And make sure that you hit that bell so you know when I go live, because my schedule for live is like whenever I got time right now. All right. So as we bring it home, hey, Belinda, as we bring it home, okay, and we've been through every emotion and every feeling that's seeking to empower you, okay? Yes, we have gone through clarity, chaos, and choice. And what is being revealed, Spirit can tell you what to do, but it's up to you to take that path, all right? So, how is person A going to address and handle this situation moving forward? My personal hope is that you are empowered to change. Look at things differently. Focus on yourself. But what is likely going to happen? You about to be sitting around here soaping and wallowing, all depressed, all in your feelings. But I told you that in the beginning with the health card. You worrying yourself sick about somebody who ain't thinking about you. And the question is why? I understand they're going through heartache and disappointment, and accepting the fact that somebody didn't see you as being whatever they didn't see you as is a hard pill to swallow. But baby, once you get it down, you ain't got to worry about it no more. All right? Part of the reason why you may be dealing with that just sadness and that anxiety is because you're going to come to find out with this King of Wands in reverse that they was lying to you. But we already talked about that. They was lying to you. Told you they weren't ever ready for a relationship. They was lying. They was just waiting on somebody else the whole dang time. Trust me, they're not going to get away with this. They're going to have their bad karma and they're going to walk around here feeling like skit. They're going to get the payback for it. But this ain't about them and what is going to happen with them. This is about you and what happens with you. Okay? We also got the Six of Swords here in reverse. All right? This is something that makes you feel very unsuccessful. And I'm telling you right now, stop trying to save face by keep putting yourself out there trying to force yourself to find love and let love find you. Take a step back. Go back to the beginning of this video where I gave you 6 things that you need to be working on right now. Before I even touched one of these cards, before we even got to the overall, I gave you 6 things that you need to be worried about right now. And dating and love ain't one of them. Okay? So this is going to hurt your feelings. This is going to make you feel very stifled, very defeated. But this wasn't your person to begin with. That's the thing that I need you to hear. This was never your person. This was just a stopgap in between time. I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's the truth that you need to receive. And lastly, don't let your heart get cold with this Queen of Cups in reverse. Stop trying to petty yourself. And, oh no, I ain't got nothing to give. I just feel like I'm broken, I'm damaged. No. Absolutely not. We're not going to sit around here and do this. We're not going to play that game. This is not a reflection of you. This is a reflection of them. Put the onus on where it belongs. What is a reflection of you is how you set the tone to allow these things to happen. And that's what Spirit is telling you to draw your attention to. Narrow in and focus. That's what you need to be worried about. Because the minute that you focus on yourself and get your life together, you're going to come across that strong, ideal person. And you're not going to have to beg, borrow, rob, and steal to get it and keep it. Okay? It's coming your way. But you're not going to be able to attract it if you're not being the person that you wish to meet. If you're not setting the parameters and synergizing your energy in a way to where you being you and being comfortable, confident, and courageous is attractive to them, you're going to miss your opportunity. That's why Spirit got you working on you right now. So in the meanwhile, in a long time, you're going to be ready for that thing. But for right now, this ain't it. And if you being honest with yourself, you've been knowing this person ain't been it for quite some time. You was just entertaining it because you was bored. That's it. You was bored. You wanted something to do. So you got you something to do. And now that you got something to do, you realize that you would have been better off watching Good Times.
What?
So, angels, what messages do you have right now for this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? What messages do you have for person A, the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? Because we ain't got nothing for person B. For real. This person B gonna have their own battles that they need to be focused on. This could be the one. You have already met the romantic partner that you seek. So didn't I just tell y'all, as soon as you start focusing on yourself, you're going to come across that person that you're looking for? Well, the angels just already confirmed you already met this person. You just skipping them. It's not this person. It's somebody totally different. Totally different. Like my son said when he was little, a different man. Different man. Different man. That was not the context of that story, but it was just the conviction that he said. Okay? Different man. And he wasn't talking about a man, he was talking about a house. Okay? Now, I post that video all the time on my Instagram. So if you ever see a video of him yelling, getting an attitude, that's what he was talking about. Now, Romeo and Juliet. What messages do you have for this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, dealing with this other Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? You've been blowing off this man that's coming your way, too. You've been thinking that person was corny and cheesy. Watch. As soon as you start working on yourself, they're going to become real attractive to you. Rejection. Firm rejection. Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Wow. If this is not a summation and a book ending to everything that we have been talking about today, this is about you overcoming this rejection. The card says firm rejection. Not proud that you have, but thankful that you have. Listen. Listen. Everything is here for a reason. Everything is here for a reason. Honey, when I tell you that all of the angels in your spiritual team are so happy right now that you finally got the lesson, they rejoicing right now. Because you've been knowing to do better and you ain't did it in quite some time. But now, they like,
It's all right, mama.
work on you, girl. Work on you, boo. Get your stuff together so you can get on to the other side. Because once you pass this test of not settling and not compromising and not keep going back and not begging, the veil is going to be lifted to where you're going to see what you need to see. And you're going to be where you need to be, doing what you need to be doing, so that you can what? Attract the people that you need to be attracting into your life and repelling the people that do not need to be in your life. All right? Now, this was kind of heavy. This was kind of stern. But it was what was needed to be said. Now, ask yourself, what surprised you about this reading today? What hurt you and healed you at the same time? because this is your opportunity to choose growth over guilt and power over fear. Most importantly, we choose peace over patterns. Okay? Now, I know this was a journey. I know it was. And thank you for letting me go there with you. Okay? One of the benefits of being Mimi Light Seer and coming to Poxy Tarot is going to be raw and unfiltered. And I say what I got to say, and I mean what I say from a genuine and authentic place. I'm never laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, and I'm not yelling at you, but I'm talking to you in a real, succinct, and direct way that is going to help you process and understand what needs to be said. And if it's too raw, well, I don't know what to tell you. All right? I can't even apologize. That's the way it come across. So anyway, if this reading stirred up something in your soul, subscribe now, hit the like button, and drop a comment in the section below and let me know what hit the hardest. Again, personal readings are available right now via my website, PiscesTarot.com. Go ahead and get your merch today, okay? And remember that I will never solicit you for a reading, ever, not ever, not ever, not ever. Now, let me tell you something. All my day ones is up in here. I see you. God, peace. For real. Thank you so much for rocking with me. To all the people who gifted me today, thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your treasure. And for those of you who took notes and hit the like button, thank you too, all right? Listen. I thank you for pouring into me your time, your talent, and your treasure. Because when I tell you, I have been struggling to find time to come back to doing this at the same time every day. Be patient with me. I am coming. As y'all can see, the afternoons is a little crazy in my house with all my 50-11 childrens, but mama got to do what she got to do, okay? So be on the lookout for my times. I may be going back to early morning reads. It's just better for me, but I got to keep playing with it to see what's going to work, okay? So thank you for your patience for that as well. All right, now listen, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, be patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your problem, but how you respond, that is where your power lies. So remember to be gentle, kind, and compassionate. Have some empathy for folks, people dealing with some crazy things. It's hard out here for all the pimps. Okay, just saying. So anyway, be kind to yourself and one another, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. And Christian said hello.